Alrighty, well, I have a Ouija board behind me that I brought in after a month of it not being in my house. I'm not very superstitious, but you know, the idea of a Ouija board being behind me as I speak on this topic is giving me shivers, so fun! What's up, rad people? Today, we're talking about some nightmares because I've been having some recently, a lot recently. I've been plagued with nightmares. It's scary. And a few days ago, I had a nightmare with sleep paralysis, and that is what we're going to talk about today, because just thinking about it is giving me goosebumps. It's making me a little anxious just knowing I'm about to revisit that horrible dream. But not only am I going to share my awful nightmare with you guys, I want to look up online and try to make some sort of sense of it. I think dream interpretation is intriguing, but like, is there really any science behind it? Actually, I don't know. We're flying that out today, I guess. So first things first, I gotta tell you about this nightmare. To backtrack a little bit, the nightmares I have are all over the place, right? But for the most part, they're based off of reality and like common fears I have. So they're very like realistic, and that kind of makes them so much scarier. So like these nightmares I've been having are like someone breaks into my house. Oh my God, just thinking about that kind of gives me shivers though. That's like a huge fear of mine. Hopefully me talking about this doesn't like call it into fruition. Fruition. Why? That word doesn't sound right. So like really, you know, typical normal nightmare stuff, but this one, no. It's not normal. Okay, so in this nightmare, it was really strange because it was like first person nightmare, but also I was aware of my outer self. I said that really trippy to me. It was like, it was going between first person and third person, but it switched to first person during the sleep paralysis. So for the third person part of the dream, which was the beginning part of it, I was aware that I was in my room and I just was overcome with this intense feeling of something's in here, I gotta get the out. That's putting it mildly. It was like a full-on fight or flight panic mode. Oh God, that's giving me goosebumps. Oh my God, can you guys see that? Can you actually see that? I'm not kidding. It's 100 degrees in this room. I don't have my AC on, so it's not because I'm chilled. I'm genuinely spooked. Back on track. I had this overwhelming feeling that something was trying to get in or something was in here with me, and it was my time to leave, and I needed to leave ASAP Rocky. So then it switched to first person, and I felt like I woke up and I was in my bed because I looked down at my toes. Well, toes, I looked down at my feet. I felt very restrained by the blanket, and I woke up with that feeling of just immense dread. This is when it appeared. And when I say it because I don't know what the it was. And it came from my closet, and before I saw it, I heard it. Like can you hear that? And instantly, I knew where it was coming from. It was coming from my goddamn closet, which is at the foot of my bed, as you guys can see behind me. I don't need to point to it. It's there. My room's tiny. You see it. And I knew that this feeling, the source of it, was coming from the closet. I knew once I saw whatever it was making that noise, it was going to live up to the feeling of terror. So because of that, I had the brilliant idea of, if I don't look at it, whatever it wants to do, it can't do to me yet. Don't know why I felt like that. Apparently, and maybe it was inspired by Bloody Mary. It didn't stop there. It didn't stop with the noise, because that wouldn't have been that terrible. But what it did less worse, yes. And so just over my peripheral, I saw my closet door open. Oh, so scary. And just this silhouette, shadowy, dark figure come out of my closet. Oh my God. That is so terrifying. I was sweating. It felt like it was 1,000? It felt like it was 1,000 degrees in my room, not like the normal 100 degrees. And that is when I was like, okay, it's coming, it's game time, let's go. So a trick that I picked up from my lucid dreaming is whenever I didn't want to be in a dream anymore, I would really just focus on my fingers. Because if I could focus on my fingers and I could just focus on moving my fingers, I could pull myself out of the dream and wake up. My instinct was like, okay, I gotta focus on making my fingers move, and if I can do that, I can gain control and I can leave this horrible experience. I was just out of my peripheral. I was keeping gauge of it, and it was moving so slowly. It was crawling, and I didn't see it crawling, but like I knew it was crawling, and it was big, because if it was crawling and it was that big, I didn't want to see that thing when it stood the fuck up. I just stared at my fingers and I just focused on those motherfuckers. I was like, come on, you gotta move. Let's twitch. That's a little bit. Let me regain my feeling. Come on, I can do this. I can do this. I don't have time. I have to do this. I could almost feel like the emotion of whatever that thing was changing. And it went from me focusing on my pure terror to me focusing on this thing like f***ing with me. I knew that thing was moving that slow, not because it had to, but because it thought it was funny. And that is so much scarier for some reason. My fingers started to move slightly. And this is like when I realized I was in sleep paralysis. Someone's in the kitchen. From my peripheral, since I couldn't make out a face if it had one, all I saw was just big white teeth, hopefully. I don't know what else they could have been if they weren't teeth. It was right next to my face, and it was getting closer and closer and closer, and it was getting so hard not to look at it. And just when I was about to look, I gained control of my body, and it's like I woke up, but I was kind of already awake. I was stuck in between that awake and dream state, and now all of a sudden, I had complete control of my body. I shot up. I was soaking wet in sweat, which was so disgusting, and my AC was actually on, so like the room was pretty cold, and I was so freaked out. Other times when I've woken up from the few nightmares, instantly, like, relief is something that takes over you, right? You're just like, oh, thank God, I'm not in that anymore. I'm good, everything's fine, let's watch some TV and then I can get back to sleep. No, when I woke up, I felt like I was still in it. I had so much adrenaline pumping through my veins that I knew that I had to get out of my room. So I literally jumped out of bed and went into my living room and just was like, what the was that? What just happened? And I sat out in my living room for a few hours because the thought of coming back into my room was so unsettling and made me so uncomfortable. I genuinely felt like that nightmare existed, possibly, maybe, I don't know, I'm not a superstitious person. Maybe there's a reason why I shouldn't be in my room tonight. And that happened a few days ago, and I'm back in this room, and reliving it right now is kind of making me more scared. Yep, and so let's go find out what the internet says about this. I'm not looking forward to it, honestly. I know how the internet works, and if I thought that was scary, the internet's gonna say something 10 times scarier, so fun! Get my reading voice on. What is sleep paralysis and how do you stop it? Let's see what they say about it. Okay, yeah, that's an accurate picture right there because that's how I felt. It's probably what I look like too. Oh my goodness. If someone came into my room while I had that probably would have been more terrifying for them. I was probably there like just staring, my eyes so wide. I was probably super sweaty, like hyperventilating, just like that would be really terrifying. Oh my goodness. I'm just kind of glad like no one in my family saw that. Normally while you're sleeping, your body is paralyzed so that you don't act out your dreams. But in sleep paralysis, you wake up while your body is still frozen. And even though you are fully conscious looking around your real room, part of your brain is still dreaming. That is fascinating. People often hallucinate creepy things, shadowy. Why is it never nice things? Why is it never rainbows and kittens and hugs? It's always shadowy forms, monsters, and aliens, okay? How do the hallucinations work? The hallucinations seem to happen in stages. It's kind of like when you're walking down a lonely street at night. That's a nightmare in and of itself. You wake up, your eyes open, and you feel this uneasy feeling. As your brain tries to make sense of what's going on, it creates something to explain why you feel so uneasy. It might whip up a menacing figure to watch you, often one that fits into your worldview. If you're in 21st century America, you might see an extraterrestrial. Whoa, so I think like paranormal ghost shit's terrifying. I mean, yeah, the idea of like you're not alone when you think you're alone is a super terrifying fear that I have, and one that's reflected in reality. Whoa, okay, connecting the dots, seeing the connection. Okay, you know, kind of make me feel better. I was expecting this shit to be like, yo, you marked, you cursed, get the fuck out of your house. Now that we got the medical explanation theory behind it, let's see what people on the internet say about it. I'm sure these theories aren't going to make me feel so comfortable. What does the Bible say about sleep paralysis? The Bible says anything about sleep paralysis? Okay, I kind of have to see what this is about. What does the Bible say about sleep paralysis? Wow, that title was not kidding. That is actually something. Oh, wow, okay, I was thinking this is clickbait. But the truth is that sleep paralysis are not normal and very dangerous. You are not having a dream. This visitation is real. It is a demonic attack on you. Huh? I have come to realize how Satan has planted his people in every sector of society to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay, I think I'm like on a conspiracy theory website. What's some of the theories about it? Oh my god, that picture looks exactly like what I saw. That's so much creepier. Listeners were encouraged to submit drawings of shadow people they'd seen, and the drawings are strikingly similar. People's descriptions of what the shadow people actually do are similar as well. They visit the night and lurk around people's bedrooms, and passively staring down their helpless prey. They often jump on people's chests and or try to choke them. So glad that didn't happen. Demonic orgies, what the f? And I thought I heard something. Okay. I think the demon in my closet didn't like that I was laughing at demonic orgies. Ooh, it just makes it so much worse. It just makes it just does. It like makes it feel real knowing that someone else experienced it. But I know it's like cliches, it's generalizations, but yeah, it makes it feel like maybe a tiny percent chance that there's a demon and I'm cursed and it wants my soul. And now I have a feeling I'm definitely going to experience it tonight. So, lovely. Let's end this video on a happy note. Look at this cutie pie. How can you be afraid of a demon coming out of that closet when this little cutie pie's right here? Have good nightmares. Wow, I'm so sorry for that.